ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। सुमुखश्च एकदन्तश्च कपिलो गजकर्णकः लम्बोदरश्च विकटो विघ्नराजो विनायकः धूमकेतुर्गणाध्यक्षः फालचन्द्रो गजाननः वक्रतुण्डः शूर्पकर्णो हेरम्बः स्कन्दपूर्वजः शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। यस्य द्विरदवक्त्राद्या पारिषद्या परस्सतं विघ्नं विघ्नन्ति सततं विश्वक्सेनं तमाश्रये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ओम अस्य श्री भगवद्गीता माला महामन्त्रस्य भगवान् वेदव्यास ऋषिः अनुष्ठुप् छन्दः श्रीकृष्ण परमात्मा देवता असोच्यान् अन्वसोचत्वं प्रज्ञावादां च भाषस इति बीजम् सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज इति शक्तिः। अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः इति कीलकम्। श्रीकृष्णप्रीत्यर्थे श्रीभगवद्गीतामाला महामन्त्रजपे विनियोगः। नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावकः इत्यङ्गुष्ठाभ्यां नमः न च क्लेदयन्त्यापो न शोषयति मारुतः इति तर्जनीभ्यां नमः। अच्छेद्योऽयम् अदाह्योऽयम् अक्लेद्यो शोष्य एव च इति मध्यमाभ्यां नमः। नित्यः सर्वगतस्थाणुः अचलोऽयं सनातनः अनामिकाभ्यां नमः। पश्य मे पार्थरूपाणि शतशोथसहस्रतः इति कनिष्ठिकाभ्यां नमः। नानाविधानि दिव्यानि नानावर्णाकृतीनि च इति करतलकरपृष्ठाभ्यां नमः। नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावकः इति हृदयाय नमः। न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापो न शोषयति मारुतः इति शिरसे स्वाहा। अच्छेद्योऽयम् अदाह्योऽयम् अक्लेद्य शोष्य एव च इति शिखायै वषट्। नित्यः सर्वगतस्थाणुः अचलोऽयं सनातनः इति कवचाय हुम्। पश्य मे पार्थरूपाणि शतशोथसहस्रतः इति नेत्रत्रयाय वौषते। नानाविधानि दिव्यानि नानावर्णाकृतानि च इति अस्त्राय फट्। भूर्भुवस्सवरोमिति दिग्बन्धः ध्यानम्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणी भगवतीमष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवत्पेशिनीम्। नमोऽस्तुते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः। प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भीष्मद्रोण तथा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला। अश्वत्थाम विकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैः रणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः। पारासर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थबन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथासम्बोधना बोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैः रहरह पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घ्यते गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुवन्ति दिव्यैः स्तवैः वेदैः साङ्ख्यपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थित तद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। ओम श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथ अष्टादशोऽध्यायः। अर्जुन उवाच सन्न्यासस्य महाबाहो तत्त्वम् इच्छामि वेदितुम् त्यागस्य च ऋषिकेश पृथक् केशिनिषूदन। श्रीभगवान् उवाच काम्यानां कर्मणां न्यासं सन्न्यासं कवयो विदुः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं प्राहुः त्यागं विचक्षणाः। त्याज्यं दोषवदित्येके कर्म प्राहुर्मनीषिणः यज्ञदानतपः कर्म न त्याज्यम् इति चापरे। निश्चयं शृणु मे तत्र त्यागे भरतसत्तम। त्यागो हि पुरुषव्याघ्र त्रिविधः सम्प्रकीर्तितः यज्ञदानतपः कर्म न त्याज्यं कार्यमेव तत्। यज्ञो दानं तपश्चैव पावनानि मनीषिणाम् एतान्यपि तु कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा फलानि च कर्तव्यानीति मे पार्थ निश्चितं मतमुत्तमम्। नियतस्य तु सन्न्यासः कर्मणो नोपपद्यते मोहात् तस्य परित्यागः तामसः परिकीर्तितः। दुःखमित्येव यत्कर्म कायक्लेशभयात् त्यजेत् स कृत्वा राजसं त्यागं नैव त्यागफलं लभेत्। कार्यमित्येव यत्कर्म नियतं क्रियते अर्जुन संगं त्यक्त्वा फलं चैव स त्यागः सात्विको मतः। न द्वेष्ट्य कुशलं कर्म कुशले नानुषज्यते त्यागी सत्त्वसमाविष्टः मेधावी छिन्न संशयः। न हि देहभृता सख्यं त्यक्तुं कर्माण्यशेषतः। यस्तु कर्मफलत्यागी स त्यागीत्यभिधीयते। अनिष्टमिष्टं मिश्रं च त्रिविधं कर्मणः फलम् भवत्यतागिनां प्रेत्य न तु सन्न्यासिनां क्वचित्। पञ्चैतानि महाबाहो कारणानि निबोध मे सांख्ये कृतान्ते प्रोक्तानि सिद्धये सर्वकर्मणाम्। अधिष्ठानं तथा कर्ता करणं च पृथक्विधम्। विविधाश्च पृथक् चेष्टा दैवं चैवात्र पंचमम्। शरीरवाङ्मनोभिः यत्कर्म प्रारभते नरः, न्याय्यं वा विपरीतं वा पंचैते तस्य हेतवः। तत्रैवं सति कर्तारम् आत्मानं केवलं तु यः पश्यति अकृतबुद्धित् बुद्धित्वान् न स पश्यति दुर्मतिः। यस्य नाहं कृतो भावो बुद्धिर्यस्य न लिप्यते, हत्वापि स इमां लोकान् न हन्ति न निबध्यते। ज्ञानं ज्ञेयं परिज्ञाता त्रिविधा कर्मचोदना, करणं कर्म कर्तेति त्रिविध कर्म संग्रहः। ज्ञानं कर्म च कर्ता च त्रिधैव गुणभेदतः, प्रोच्यते गुणसंख्यानि यतावत् शृणुतान्यपि। सर्वभूतेषु येनैकं भावम् अव्ययम् ईक्षते, अविभक्तं विभक्तेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकम्। पृथक्त्वेन तु यज्ञानं नानाभावान् पृथक्विधान्, वेति सर्वेषु भूतेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि राजसम्। यत्तु कृष्णवदेकस्मिन् कार्ये सक्तमहैतुकम्, अतत्वार्थवतल्पं च तत्तामसम् उदाहृतम्। नियतं संगरहितम् अरागद्वेषतः कृतम्, अपलप्रेम्सुना कर्म यत्तत् सात्विकम् उच्यते। यत्तु कामेप्सुना कर्म साहंकारेण वा पुनः क्रियते बहुलायासं तत् राजसम् उदाहृतम्। अनुबन्धं क्षयं हिंसां मनवेक्ष च पौरुषम्, मोहादारभ्यते कर्म यत्तत् तामसम् उच्यते। मुक्तसंगो न संवादी धृत्युत्साहसमन्वितः, सिद्ध्यसिद्धियोर्निर्विकारः कर्ता सात्विक उच्यते। रागी कर्मफलप्रेप्सुर्लुब्धो हिंसात्मको शुचिः, हर्षशोकान्वितः कर्ता राजसः परिकीर्तितः। अयुक्तः प्राकृतस्तब्धः सधो नैष्कृतिकोलसः, विषादी दीर्घसूत्री च कर्ता तामस उच्यते। बुद्धेर्भेदं धृतेश्चैव गुणतः त्रिविधं शृणु, प्रोच्यमानमशेषेण पृथक्त्वेन धनञ्जय। प्रवृत्तिं च निवृत्तिं च कार्याकार्ये भयाभये, बन्धं मोक्षं च या वेत्ति बुद्धिः सा पार्थ सात्विकी। यया धर्ममधर्मं च कार्यं चाकार्यमेव च अयतावत् प्रजानाति बुद्धिः सा पार्थ राजसी। अधर्मं धर्ममिति या मन्यते तमसावृता, सर्वार्थान् विपरीतांश्च बुद्धिः सा पार्थ तामसी। धृत्या यया धारयते मनप्राणेन्द्रियक्रियाः, योगेनाव्यभिचारिण्या धृतिः सा पार्थ सात्विकी। यया तु धर्मकामार्थान् धृत्या धारयतेऽर्जुन, प्रसंगेन फलाकांक्षी धृतिः सा पार्थ राजसी। यया स्वप्नं भयं शोकं विषादं मदमेव च न विमुञ्चति दुर्मेधा धृतिः सा पार्थ तामसी। सुखं इदानीं त्रिविधं शृणु मे भारतर्षभ, अभ्यासात् रमते यत्र दुःखान्तं च निगच्छति। यत्तद् अग्रे विषमिव परिणामे मृतोपमं, तत्सुखं सात्विकं प्रोक्तं आत्मबुद्धिप्रसादजम् विषयेन्द्रियसंयोगात् यत्तत् अग्रे मृथोपमम् परिणामे विषमिव तत्सुखं राजसं स्मृतम् यदग्रे चानुबन्धे च सुखं मोहनमात्मनः निद्रालस्य प्रमादोत्थं तत्तामसम् उदाहृतम् न तदस्ति पृथिव्यां वा दिवि देवेषु वा पुनः सत्वं प्रकृतिजैर्मुक्तं यदेभिः स्यात् त्रिभिर्गुणैः ब्राह्मणक्षत्रियभिसां शूद्राणां च परन्तप कर्माणि प्रविभक्तानि स्वभाव प्रभवैर्गुणैः समो दमस्तपः शौचं शान्तिरार्जवम् एव च ज्ञानं विज्ञानमास्तिक्यं ब्रह्म कर्म स्वभावजम् शौर्यं तेजो धृतिर्दाक्ष्यं युद्धे चाप्यपलायनम् दानमीश्वरभावश्च क्षात्रं कर्म स्वभावजम् कृषिगौरक्ष्यवाणिज्यं वैश्यकर्म स्वभावजम् परिचर्यात्मकं कर्म शूद्रस्यापि स्वभावजम् स्वे स्वे कर्मण्यभिरतः संसिद्धिं लभते नरः स कर्मनिरतः सिद्धिं यथा विन्दति तत् शृणु यत प्रवृत्तिर्भूतानां येन सर्वमिदं ततं स्वकर्मणा तमभ्यक्ष्य सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः श्रेयान् स्वधर्मो विगुणः परधर्मात् स्वनुष्ठितात् स्वभावनियतं कर्म कुर्वन्नाप्नोति किल्बिषम् सहजं कर्म कौन्तेय सदोषम् अपि न त्यजेयत् सर्वारम्भा हि दोषेण धूमेनाग्निरिवावृताः असक्तबुद्धिः सर्वत्र जितात्मा विगतस्पृहः नैष्कर्म्यसिद्धिं परमां संन्यासेनाधिगच्छति सिद्धिं प्राप्तो यथा ब्रह्म तथाप्नोति निबोध मे समासेनैव कौन्तेय निष्ठा ज्ञानस्य या परा बुद्ध्या विशुद्ध्या युक्तः धृत्यात्मानं नियम्य च शब्दादीन् विषयान् त्यक्त्वा रागद्वेषौ युगस्य च विविक्तसेवि लग्भासि यत वाक्कायमानसः ध्यानयोगपरो नित्यं वैराग्यं समुपाश्रितः अहंकारं बलं दर्पं कामं क्रोधं परिग्रहं विमुच्य निर्ममः शान्तः ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते ब्रह्मभूतप्रसन्नात्मा न शोचति न काङ्क्षति समः सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिं लभते परां भक्त्या माम् अभिजानाति यावान् यश्चास्मि तत्त्वतः ततो मां तत्त्वतो ज्ञात्वा विशते तत् अनन्तरम् सर्वकर्माण्यपि सदा कुर्वाणो मद्व्यपाश्रयः मत्प्रसादात् अवाप्नोति शाश्वतं पदमव्ययम् चेतसा सर्वकर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्परः बुद्धियोगम् उपाश्रित्य मच्चित्तः सततं भव मच्चित्तः सर्वदुर्गाणि मत्प्रसादात् तरिष्यसि अथ चेत्त्वहम् अहङ्कारं न श्रोष्यसि विनक्ष्यसि यत् अहङ्कारमाश्रित्य न योत्स्य इति मन्यसे नित्यैष व्यवसायस्ते प्रकृतिस्त्वां नियोक्ष्यति स्वभावजेन कौन्तेय निबद्धस्वेन कर्मणां कर्तुं नेच्छसि यन्मोहात् करिष्यस्य वशोऽपि तत् ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां शुद्धेशोऽर्जुन तिष्ठति भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि यन्त्रारूढानि मायया तमेव शरणं गच्छ सर्वभावेन भारत तत्प्रसादात् परां शान्तिं स्थानं प्राप्स्यसि शाश्वतम् इति ते ज्ञानमाख्यातं गुह्यात् गुह्यतरं मया विमृश्यैतदशेषेण यथा इच्छसि तथा कुरु सर्वगुह्यतमं भूयः शृणु मे परमं वचः इष्टोऽसि मे दृढम् इति ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितम् मन्मना भव मद्भक्तः मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामे वैश्यसि सत्यं ते प्रतिजाने प्रियोऽसि मे सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः इदं ते न तपस्काय न भक्ताय कदाचन न च अश्रुषूषवे वाच्यं न च मां योऽभ्यसूयति य इमं परमं गुह्यं मद्भक्तेषु अभिदास्यति भक्तिं मयि परां कृत्वा मामे वैष्यति असंशयः न च तस्मान् मनुष्येषु कश्चित् मे प्रियकृत्तमः भविता न च मे तस्मात् अन्यप्रियतरो भुवि अध्येष्यते च इमं धर्म्यं संवादमावयोः ज्ञानयज्ञेन तेनाहमिष्टः स्यामिति मे मतिः श्रद्धावान् अनसूयश्च शृणुयादपि यो नरः सोऽपि मुक्तः शुभां लोकान् प्राप्नुयात् पुण्यकर्मणां कश्चित् एतत् श्रुतं पार्थ त्वयैकाग्रेण चेतसा कश्चित् अज्ञानसम्मोहः प्रणष्टस्ते धनञ्जय अर्जुन उवाच नष्टो मोहस्मृतिर्लब्ध तत्प्रसादात् मयाच्युत स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः करिष्ये वचनं तव सञ्जय उवाच इत्यहं वासुदेवस्य पार्थस्य च महात्मनः संवादम् इमं श्रोषम् अद्भुतं रोमहर्षणम् व्यासप्रसादात् श्रुतवान् एतत् गुह्यम् अहं परम् योगं योगेश्वरात् कृष्णात् साक्षात् कथयत् स्वयं राजन् संस्मृत्य संवादम् इममद्भुतं केशवार्जुनयोः पुण्यं हृष्यामि च मुहुर्मुहुः तच्च संस्मृत्य रूपम् अद्भुतं हरेः विस्मयो मे महान् राजन् हृष्यामि च पुनः पुनः यत्र योगेश्वरः कृष्णो यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयो भूतिर्ध्रुवा नीतिर्मतिर्मम Embracing divinity through renunciation and elimination of attachment. Adhyayam 18. Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. Arjuna said, O mighty shouldered master of senses Krishna, destroyer of the demon Kesi, I want to understand specifically the true meaning of renunciation, sannyasa, and sacrifice, tyagam. Sri Bhagavan said, the wise consider that eliminating the desire-driven actions is renunciation, sannyasam. Those with well-developed discriminatory faculty say that tyaga means not desiring the results of actions. Some wise people say that action itself, like evil, must be given up. Some others say that the actions of prescribed sacrificial rites, penance, and charity must not be given up. My dear Arjuna, you are the best among the Bharatas. You are the best among all men. Among the subjects of renunciation and sacrifice, hear from me now what sacrifice is. Sacrifice has been explained to be of three types. One must not give up actions of sacrificial rites, penance, and charity. They deserve to be done. These actions help in purifying the mind and expanding the hearts of men who discriminate between the permanent and the temporary. My dear Partha, even these and other similar actions must be done without desiring either the actions or the result. This is my firm and sacred opinion. Giving up the prescribed daily duties is not correct. Not doing them due to confusion and attachment is called tamasic, sacrifice. Giving up action because it is sad or because of the fear that it is difficult on the body is rajasic, sacrifice. One will not achieve any results by giving up actions like this. Giving up attachment to action or its results, but still doing the daily prescribed actions as duty for the welfare of the world is called sattvic sacrifice. A balanced person with mature and well-developed discrimination and without harboring any doubt whatsoever, neither abhors actions that are not scriptural prescriptions, charity and penance, nor attaches to those that are. It is not possible for the person with a sense of body attachment to give up actions entirely, but he who gives up the desire for the result of action is called a person of sacrifice, a tyagi. For the person who does not give up the desire for the results of actions, three types of results, pleasure, pain, and the mixture of the two, happen when he leaves the body. For the person who gives up the desire for the results of action, such results do not happen. My dear mighty soul Arjuna, the science of knowledge, Sankhya, teaches about the stage where actions end and also describe the 5 causes that result in fulfillment of all actions in this world. Understand these 5 causes from me now. The 5 causes are the physical body, the doer of deeds, the 5 senses, each of perception and action, the varieties of myriad actions that come and go, and the 5th one is natural tendencies and impulses. Whatever action that a man does with his mind, speech, and body, whether they contribute to or oppose the welfare of being, these 5 are their causes. When this is the case, the dull-witted one thinks the indweller is the doer and he does not see the truth. His intelligence is warped. He who does not have the feeling, I am the doer, and whose mind is devoid of attachments, does not kill even when he kills the beings of the world. He is not bound by his actions. Knowledge, the object to be known, and the knower are the 3 causative factors for the manifestation of action. The 11 senses, the 5 senses of perception, 5 senses of action in the mind, the 11 senses, the thinking, speaking, and doing part, and the life force within are the 3 enabling factors that carry out this action. The science of knowledge, Sankhya Shastra, that explains the differentiations of the 3 tendencies of nature, says that knowledge, action, and the doer of action are of 3 types based upon their naturally impelling tendencies. Hear these descriptions also now. Understand that the knowledge with which one sees the indestructible, undifferentiated oneness in the differing and diverse appearances of all beings is called Satvikam. Understand that knowledge with which one sees a variety of separate and different individual life forces among beings is called Rajasam. The untruthful, ill-considered, and the narrow-minded knowledge that supports the belief that all-pervasive Brahman is limited to a selected form and to that form only is called tamasam. When a prescribed action is done without seeking its result, without attaching to it, and without likes and dislikes, it's called satvikam, balanced action. Action done with the feeling I am the doer, with great efforts and desiring results, is called rajasam, aggressive action. Action done without due consideration to one's capability, to the potential of harming others, to incurring losses, or to possible consequences, is called tamasam, ignorant action. The doer of deeds, who is unattached, egoless, enthusiastic, persevering, and unaffected by success and failure, is called a satvika, a balanced personality. The doer of deeds, who is caught in the whirlpool of desires and seeks results from his actions, who is miserly, unclean physically and mentally, intent on harming others, and who is mentally unsteady by the pulls and the pushes of pleasures and pain, is called a rajasaha, aggressive personality. The doer of deeds, who is unsteady, not of good character, egoistic, deceitful, malicious, lazy, diffident, and procrastinating, is called a tamasaha, confused, lethargic personality. My dear Dhananjaya, hear now fully the three types of intelligence and fortitude based upon their differentiating characteristics. My dear Partha, the intelligence that understands the differences between entering and exiting an action, between the prescribed and the prohibited actions, between fear and absence of fear, and between bondage and freedom, is called satviki, balanced intelligence. My dear Partha, the intelligence that misunderstands and confuses between righteousness dharma and non-righteousness adharma, and between prescribed and prohibited actions, is called rajasi, aggressive intelligence. My dear Partha, enveloped in ignorance, the intelligence that considers the adharma to be dharma, non-righteousness to be righteousness, and perceives all things from a crooked perspective, is called tamasi, ignorant intelligence. My dear Partha, the fortitude that practices the embracing of the indweller in a steady and disciplined manner, and on that basis supports the actions of the mind, the life force, and the senses, is called sattvic fortitude, beneficial determination. My dear Partha, the determination that supports the objectives of livelihood, righteousness, desire and wealth, dharma, kama, and artha, and strongly desires benefits from actions, is called rajasic fortitude, aggressive determination. And my dear Partha, mired in unhealthy thoughts, the tenacity with which one does not give up sleep, fear, sadness, confusion, and pride, is called tamasic fortitude, confused, harmful determination. Arjuna, you are the best among the Bharatas. Hear from me now the three types of happiness. That happiness practicing which one puts an end to all miseries and becomes serene. That which appears like a poison in the beginning, but is like the nectar at the end, and that which reveals itself in the clarified intellect immersed in the indweller, is called satvikam, enduring, balanced happiness. The pleasure obtained from the joining of senses and sense objects that appear nectarine in the beginning, but ends in misery, is considered rajasam, aggressive, misleading happiness. The mesmerizing pleasure that originates in sleep and laziness, and that dilutes in both the beginning and in the end, is called tamasam, delusional happiness. That which is free from the three tendencies of nature is not present here in this world or even in the heavens, the world of the Devas. Arjuna, the terror of enemies, the duties of Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaisyas, and Sudras have been specified on the basis of their natural tendencies, control of mind, control of senses, penance, the mental discipline of purifying all thoughts and surrendering them to the indweller, mental and physical purity, forbearance, simplicity and candor, knowledge, wisdom acquired by putting the knowledge in practice, faith in the continuation of life after death, all these are born in the natural impulses of seeking the Brahman and are called the duties of a Brahmin, a spiritual practitioner. Valor, courage, fortitude, skill, not fleeing from battle, charity, lordliness, all these are born in the natural impulses of defending and protecting the society and are called the duties of Kshatriya. Farming, caring for the cows and trading goods, these are natural impulses born for nourishing the society and are called the duties of a Vaisya. All actions of service to others are natural to the Sudras. Everyone performing his actions with due attention and efficiency ripens spiritually to attain the oneness with Brahman. Hear now how he, who is established in such actions, achieves this. By doing all his actions as worship to the one from whom all beings have come and by whom all this is pervaded, he ripens to the stage of attaining oneness with Brahman. Even for a person without good character, actions that come his way are superior to the well-executed actions that belong to others. One will not suffer by doing the actions that naturally come his way. My dear son of Kunti, even if they are imperfect and deficient, one must not give up the duties to which he is born and which are suited to his natural tendencies. All actions in the beginning itself are clouded by the natural tendencies, much like the smoke covering the fire. Is it not so? With a detached mindset, always victorious in the control of mind and without desire, he attains very quickly the supreme state of Naishkamya Karma, doing actions peacefully without desiring the result. My dear son of Kunti, after attaining this, he reaches the Brahman, who is the end of knowledge. Learn how he does this briefly from me. With highly purified mind, fortitude, control of body and mind, disassociation with the contact of sense attractions such as sound, relinquishing likes and dislikes, seeking solitude, eating little, controlling body, mind, and speech, always immersed in the thoughts of the indweller and holding on to him firmly without the feeling of I am the doer, unmindful of the powers obtained during spiritual progress and not being vain about them, relinquishing desire, anger, and possessiveness without the feeling of mind, he attains peace and becomes eligible to be Brahman. Established in Brahman thus, with a pure mind, he does not feel sad. He does not have any desires. He sees all beings as the same and experiences supreme, incomparable devotion to me. With this devotion, he understands the truth about me and who I am. Then, after understanding that, he enters and becomes one with me. Even though he may be doing actions, he always surrenders to me completely, holding on to me as his support. With my grace, he attains the eternal and unchanging state. With your intelligence, direct your mind to submit all actions to me. Direct it to know that there is nothing superior to me. Depend on the Buddhi Yoga to be near divinity. Always be with your mind and attention fixed on me. Fixing your mind and attention on me, you will cross over all obstacles with my grace. But due to your ego, if you do not pay heed, then you will perish. Embracing your ego, if you think that I will not fight, then that is falsehood only, because nature will control and propel you my dear son of Kunti, the action that you do not wish to do under the compulsion of delusion itself will, of its own accord, bind you into doing it through your natural impulses. My dear Arjuna, the Lord established in the heart the seat of compassion in Hridayam of all beings, pulls the strings and controls all embodied beings of mere puppets through the power of delusion. My dear Bharata, in all ways and means, surrender to Him only. With His grace, you will attain the eternal state of supreme, incomparable peace. Thus, the most unknown knowledge has been explained and revealed to you by me. Inquire into that fully, then do as you wish. Hear again my words about the most sacred and supreme knowledge that is mostly unknown. You are my true friend. Therefore, I say what is good for you. Think of me. Experience me in your mind. Be devoted to me. Sacrifice everything to me. Worship me. Then you will attain me. I promise this to be the truth. You are dear to me. Giving up all discussions about what dharma is and what dharma is not, surrender to me only. I will release you from all sins. Do not grieve. This knowledge has been thus explained to you. This should never be spoken to those who do not do their daily prescribed duties, who are not devoted, who do not wish to hear it, and who deride me. Whoever shares the supreme and confidential teaching with my devotees practices supreme devotion to me, and without a shred of doubt attains me. Among men, there is none who does more devoted service to me than him. No one will be born in this world who will be dearer to me than him. Whoever attaches himself wholeheartedly and surrenders to this meritorious conversation between us, he worships me through Jnana Yajna, which is gratitude for and worship of the knowledge imparted, sacrificing as a result the feeling of separateness from the indweller. So he will worship me through Jnana Yajna. This is my considered opinion. He who at least listens to this with dedication and enthusiasm and without jealousy reaches the worlds of the meritorious upon leaving this body. My dear Partha, has this been heard by you with single-pointed attention? Dhananjaya, are your delusion and ignorance gone? Arjuna said, my dear Achyuta, my delusion is gone. With your grace, I have obtained the true knowledge. My doubts are gone, and I stand firm. I will do as you say. Sanjaya said, thus I listened with the hair standing on end. To a wonderful conversation between Vasudeva and the great soul Partha. With the grace of Vyasa, I could hear personally this incomparable and confidential instruction and explanation of how to embrace the indweller from the indweller Krishna himself. O King, recalling this meritorious and wonderful conversation between Kesava and Arjuna, again and again, I become happy more and more. O King, recalling to mind that amazing and brilliant form of Hari again and again, I revel in its fantastic wonder. I become happy more and more. Where the Yogeswara Krishna is, and where Partha, armed with bow in hand, is ready to engage in battle, there will be auspiciousness, victory, glory, and firm justice. This is my considered opinion. श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता माहात्म्यम्। सौनक उवाच गीतायाश्चैव माहात्म्यं यथावत् सूतवे वद। पुरा नारायणक्षेत्रे व्यासेन मुनिनोदितम्। सूत उवाच भद्रं भगवता पृष्ठं यदि गुप्ततमं परं शक्यते केन तत् वक्तुं गीतामाहात्म्यम् उत्तमम्। कृष्णो जानाति वै सम्यक् कश्चित् कुन्तीसुतः फलम्। व्यासो वा व्यासपुत्रो वा ज्ञानवल्क्योत मैथिलः। अन्ये श्रवणतः श्रुत्वा देशं संकीर्तयन्ति च। तस्मात् किञ्चिदुत्पदां यत्र व्यासस्यान्मया श्रुतं संसारसागरं घोरं तर्तुम् इच्छति यो नरः। गीतानावं समासाद्य पारं यातु सुखेन सह। यस्यान्तःकरणं नित्यं गीतायां रमते सदा स सात्विकः सदा जापि क्रियावान् स च पंडितः। गीताया पुस्तकं यत्र नित्यपाठश्च वर्तते तत्र सर्वाणि तीर्थानि प्रयागादीनि भूतले निवसन्ति सदा देहे देहशेषेऽपि सर्वदा। सर्वे देवा च ऋषयोः योगिनो देहरक्षकाः। श्रीभगवानुवाच गीता मे हृदयं पार्थ गीता मे सारमुत्तमम्। गीता मे ज्ञानमत्युग्रम् गीता मे ज्ञानमव्ययम्। गीतास्त्रयेऽहं तिष्ठामि गीता मे परमं गृहम्। गीता ज्ञानं समाश्रित्य त्रिलोकीं पालयाम्यहम्। गीता नामानि वक्ष्यामि गुह्यानि शृणु पाण्डव। कीर्तनात् सर्वपापानि विलयं यान्ति तत्क्षणात्। गंगा गीता च गायत्री सीता सत्या सरस्वती। ब्रह्मवल्ली ब्रह्मविद्या त्रिसंध्या मुक्तिगेहिनी। अर्धमात्रा चिदानन्दा भवग्नि भ्रान्तिनाशिनी। वेदत्रयी परानन्दा तत्त्वात्मज्ञानमञ्जरी। इत्येतानि जपे नित्यं नरो निश्चलमानसः। ज्ञानसिद्धिं लभेत् नित्यं तथान्ते परमं पदम्। पितृमुद्दिश्य यः श्राद्धे गीतापाठं करोति सन्तुष्टाः पितरस्तस्य नरयाध्यान्ति स्वर्गतिम्। गीतासु न विशेषेऽस्ति जनेषु चावचेषु च। ज्ञानेष्वेव समग्रेषु समा ब्रह्म स्वरूपिणी। गीता सुगीता कर्तव्या किमन्यैः शास्त्रकं ग्रहैः। या स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्माद् विनिसृताः। सर्वशास्त्रमयी गीता सर्वदेवमयो हरिः। सर्वतीर्थमयी गंगा सर्ववेदमयो मनुः। गीता गंगा च गायत्री गोविन्देति हृदि स्थिति। चतुर्गकार संयुक्ते पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते। एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्र गीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव। एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव। त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव। Reverential worship of the Bhagavad Gita's greatness, Anubandha Slokangal. Saunaka said, Most reverential Sutta, I request you humbly to describe to me with clarity the reverential worship of the Gita of greatness, as explained earlier by sage Vyasa in Narayana Kshetra. Sutta said, it is most sacred and guarded information. But what you have asked is only auspicious. Who indeed is qualified to speak about Gita of greatness? Only Sri Krishna knows it very well. A bit of its beneficial result is known to Arjuna, Vyasa, Sukha, Yajnavalkya, and Mithila's king Janaka. Yet others describe a bit of what they understood from hearsay. I will describe what I heard from sage Vyasa himself. Whoever wants to cross the terrible ocean of life's struggles can ride the ship of the Gita and cross it easily. Whoever is always immersed in the happiness that Gita brings, enjoys the worshipper of fire, equals the practitioner of disciplined and enduring penance, completes all actions that must be undertaken, becomes a scholar who understands everything. Whoever has the Gita book, wherever Gita lessons take place, there all the holy waters of this world reside. Whoever imbibes the Gita worshipfully, all holy waters reside in him in this life and beyond. All the angels, rishis and yogis reside in him, protecting him. So Bhagavan said, Partha, the Gita is my heart. The Gita is the essence of my teaching. The Gita is my illuminating intellect. The Gita is my indestructible knowledge. I reside in the Gita. The Gita is my glorious home. I protect the three worlds on the basis of the Gita knowledge. My dear Pandava, I will tell the sacred and unknown names of the Gita. Listen, merely pronouncing them destroys all sin. Ganga, Gita, Gayatri, Sita, Satya, Saraswati, Brahmavalli, Brahmavidya, Trisandhya, Mukti Kehini, Arthamatra, Chidananda, Pavadni, Bharati Nasini, Vedatrayi, Parananda, Tattvartha, Jnana Manjari. Whoever recites these names incessantly with a stable mind attains the fullness of knowledge and ultimately emerges in the One. Whoever recites the Gita during the worshipping function for males helps the males get freed from hell and to go to heaven. For reading the Gita, there are no higher or lower people. All are equal in the Gita knowledge. One must read, understand, and memorize the Gita that has flown directly from the lotus face of Padmanabha. What benefits are there really from other scriptural compilations? The Gita is the embodiment of all Shastras. Hari is the embodiment of all Devas. The Ganga is the embodiment of all holy water. Manu is the embodiment of all the Vedas. With the four words, Gita, Ganga, Gayatri, and Govinda get imprinted in one's heart, then he does not get rebirth. One scriptural command, the Shastra, the Gita, sung by the son of Devaki, one God, the Avataram who was born as son of Devaki. One mantra, any of his infinite names, one action, service to him. The Lord of the Lords, you are the mother, you are the father, you are relative, you are friend, you are education, you are possession, you are my all. Swasti prajabhyah paripalayantam nyayena margena mahimahisa go brahmanebhyah subhamastu nityam samastalokaah sukhino bhavantu samastalokaah sukhino bhavantu samastalokaah sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Om Tat Sat